Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading from March 23rd to the 31st. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to just do the rest of the month. Virgo. And we are going to jump right in. If you did see your monthly forecast for March, you know that I said that March sits between two of the most important, the most pivotal months of 2026, two flashpoints is what I call it, February and April. And of course, there's July as well, the three most important, but you're in March. You're between two flashpoints. So, you should be very proud of yourself because you got through the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. You got through eclipse season with an eclipse in your sign. You also got through Mercury retrograde, Mercury being your ruler. You obviously are impacted a little bit more than other signs. So be very proud of yourself. Those are big moments, okay? And with the recent equinox, March 20th, the real new year, considered sacred. I talked about it last week. The rest of March is going to feel like life is just getting started for you, all right? After the past few months. Now, not only are you between these two major pivotal months, you are at the convergence of reset, of rebirth, of renewal, a new cycle. You are in Aries season, the beginning, where the sun is exalted, which is, the highest possible expression for the sun. Even though the sun is Leo's ruler, he thrives in Aries, okay? And Aries is the ram. Aries is the I am of the zodiac. You're just going to naturally embody those traits. You're going to feel determined and ambitious, pioneering, courageous. And what you decide to do for the rest of March will really set the stage for you in April, which, once again, is banana sauce. It is Bonkersville, April, that is. Thankfully, you should feel really inspired as you move into this week because you have the sun conjunct Neptune in Aries over the weekend, spills over into this week. It is a conjunction. It's powerful. It's strong. And it was the first time that we've had it since the 1860s. So you had a vision about your new you, this idea of who you want to become. And remember, Aries rules your 8th house. So a lot of this is going to have to, there's going to be emphasis on relationships. There's going to be emphasis on your transformation through your close relationships, significant other, love. The 8th house is, intimacy. It's also business partners, money is part of the 8th house, building your wealth. So it could even be a relationship with, an investor, financial advisor. 8th house is investments, inheritance, royalties, commissions, paying off debts, it's loans, it's taxes, it's all of that. Yeah. So there's so much you want to change about your life for so many reasons, but there's going to be another player within this realm. And while you have this vision, while you have this idea, while you're processing what you want for your future and your legacy, to be honest, it's the 8th house, you are going to start putting in the work. And you might even leave a poof of smoke because Wednesday, March 25th, we do have the Saturn Kazini. Now, before we even get there, just to let you know, March 23rd, that Monday, and even March 24th, the moon is going to be in Gemini. And we will have a minor grand trine with the moon in Gemini, Pluto in Aquarius, and Saturn in Aries. Saturn in Aries at the apex. This is really great. However, you may have some energy around work and career and your profession and health. because there's a lot of energy here. With the fact that the moon in Gemini is also going to square Mars in Pisces, by the way, there's a lot of partnership activity as well. We'll talk about it in the second spread, but just know there's going to be some focus there. And if you're not here for career, it's just your reputation or your everyday activities, health as well. All right. Now, Wednesday, March 25th, this is a really big day. This is the most loaded day of the entire month. We have about, well, you see what's happening here, but we have about 4 other aspects happening this day that we'll talk about in the bonus spread. But this is a seeding point. We have this every year. It lasts all year long, and it involves achievements, accolades, success, right? And so the sun being exalted in Aries, that's really big energy. That's a lot of energy. That's you and your purest form, unlimited potential. Remember, Aries is the beginning, right? We just had the equinox. Again, reset for you. Think of a flame at a bonfire. Aries being a fire sign. And a flame at a bonfire, not inside a lantern. That's how you're going to feel. All right. So you do you. You are going to feel really charged up with the Saturn Kazini. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need a parking pass. But here's the thing. Saturn is sure structure, stabilizes. He's also restrictions. He's also, the authority. And he's going to be in full Saturn mode. The aviators, the cargo shorts, all of it. Saturn gives you life lessons, and you play by his rules. FAFO. If you don't take on the new responsibilities that he gives you, this aspect can be a little bit sobering. And remember, this is your 8th house. Aries rules your 8th house. So this is a whole other ballgame. Now, remember, the past 2 years, you had Saturn and Pisces testing you in love and marriage and your, personal relationships, business relationships as well. Any type of relationships. I mean, it's your 7th house. It's commitments and unions. It's agreements and it's contracts. And now he's moved on into your 8th house where you're deepening those relationships if you want to. He's testing you here. And remember, I said there's intimacy in the 8th house, but the 8th house is also, it really is the transformation that you have through others. It's also death and rebirth. It's transformation. It's regeneration. It's also karmic debt. Yeah. Saturn being the planet of karma in your 8th house, there's a lot of karmic energy. But remember, it's also, transformation, which I said, but also power, right? So there's going to be a whole new feel. And remember, he is going to test you here, but Saturn natively rules your 5th. And the 5th house is fun. It's joy. It's pleasure. It's romance. It's true love. It's family. It's children. It's, things that bring you pleasure. It's recreation. It's your hobbies. It's sex. It's procreation. And so when you see what's happening for you, Virgo, it seems like you're getting a lot more serious about nesting, about building like a family, about building this, again, legacy too, because we're talking about generations of family as well. You've got Jupiter in Cancer exalted. There's a lot of family energy happening for you, even when you have the equation of Pluto being highly active. That does bring in your 3rd house. So we'll talk about that in a second. Just know that Saturn is going to, his goal is to turn you into a leader, right? Saturn in Aries. We've talked about that. And yes, this is him testing you all year long, right? But the next few weeks, when, the sun is exalted, you get to direct the flame, right? So we haven't had a Saturn Kazini in Aries in 29 years. Think about what happened between 1996 and 1999. All right. You're going to pick up little patterns when it comes to relationships, when it comes to your big transformation. Again, the eighth house does have like this sense of mystery. It has true depth to it. Okay. So yeah, think about everything that I just said about the eighth house around that time, but also just note that we did not have Neptune in Aries at that time either. And so you have Neptune in the mix here. You'd have to go back to 1702 to have an idea of what you were experiencing in your life, and you're not a vampire. So this is truly rare. And the sun, which is, your purpose, who you choose to become, merging his energies with Saturn, who is discipline and hard work and commitments. Yeah. All you have to do is show up and do the work, especially, again, deepening relationships as part of your transformation, as well as money matters, building your wealth. And again, having a lot more fun with it, with your fifth house activated. The Neptune Kazimi that happened over the weekend, it's still very close. You're going to feel that strongly this week as well. And I talked about that last week. So just know you do have a vision. You have motivation to build this new system or new goals that Saturn is, requiring of you now. And as you know, you work hard, you put in the work. Saturn turns your dreams into reality for the long term. And for many of you, yes, this can be as an authority or feeling more confident in a relationship, taking a relationship to the next level. This is you being a role model. This could be also you being a new parent, a new grandparent, a manager, at Cinnabon, wherever you do you, right? Here's the thing. You do have to pass Saturn's test. And this week, you're going to start seeing what that test exactly is. All right? And remember, Saturn doesn't do too well in Aries. Saturn is karma. All good things come to those who wait. One of the biggest things here is patience. Okay? So stay committed. You'll be rewarded if you are a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising sign or your moon or for your, manager, Rick, or your husband, Rick. It doesn't matter. Cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn will feel this the most if you know your natal chart. If you have any planets 3 to 7 degrees in any of those signs, you're really going to feel it. Now, you do see that the sun in Aries will also sextile Pluto in Aquarius. This is you entering a room and commanding it, having presence, having influence. Look at what I'm creating. Look at how far I've come. You have a goal. You're going to meet it because Pluto is power. It's transformation. Okay? So do you see the overlap that's happening here with Saturn in Aries in your 8th house, Pluto in Aquarius in your 6th house? So Pluto is the ruler of the 8th house. And the 6th house is your home. So there's going to be opportunity. It's a sextile, all right? For deepening these relationships, even new commitments, as well as, building your wealth, mapping out your future, your financial future. Also, work matters. Yeah. Your daily activities, things that have to do in the work environment. You're going to have changes here. This is your relationship with your colleagues, employees, bosses, interns, also contractors, freelancers. Could also be you. There's, remember, the 6th house is also health. Health matters, self-improvement, lifestyle, and Pluto natively ruling your 3rd you're going to be communicating, you're going to be networking, you're likely going to be launching new things or taking something to a new level. This again brings in a lot more family energy, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors. You already have a lot of home and family energy, so there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening, but this is indicating your life is about to change in a really big, deep, dramatic way. You and only you, Virgo, because Saturn is in your 8th house. All right? So there's a lot happening, but this would be the perfect time to take advantage of this sextile, to, schedule important meetings with, VIPs and recruiters if you are here for career, or to launch something that you're passionate about. I mean, you are here to make an impact, even on a global scale. Remember, Aquarius is the masses, is the collective, your audience, your customers. This can also be building alliances, which is very likely for you, and even joining organizations. Maybe you start one, a club or whatnot, but either way, just expect radical change. And also just be true to you. Yeah. Because the lower expression of this aspect would be overly confident, too authoritative, finger waggy, and also like it's self-destructive, right? Pluto, sure, is power, empowerment, but also destruction. So this is a lot of power and you don't want to abuse it. Yes, you are definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with, but just know, your limits, because this goes for every sign. This is power. Know when it's time to get back in your limousine to the cake store and, have a fun time, because Pluto can definitely take things to extremes. Now, the other thing that's happening this day, by the way, we will have a first quarter moon in Cancer. The moon rules Cancer. It might be an emotional day because the moon in Cancer, first of all, it's a first quarter moon. Secondly, the moon will square the sun, Neptune, and Saturn. We'll talk about it in the second spread, where we talk about the lunations, asteroids, planetoids, as you know. And remember, this will have to do likely with a contract, partnership, or a friend, or a group that you belong to. Now, Thursday, March 26th, you have Venus conjunct Chiron, conjunct Aries. So 25 degrees. Remember, Venus is, as you know, love and money and creativity and your values and beauty. And she's very, very assertive in Aries. She gets to wear her 12-inch heels. And her being very assertive in Aries, she does have a little bit of authority to like whack Chiron, the wounded healer, and say, snap out of it in a friendly way, of course. Like share. So what does this mean? For you, this is meaning you'll have the courage to crack open old wounds, to know your worth. Yeah? To say and believe that your past wounds or traumas, which is what Chiron represents, will no longer define who you are. Knowing that you deserve love, self-love, that you can accept it, not deflect, not run. That's what's happening here, all right? And again, this is your 8th house. There's depth here. It does feel like this is going to be an emotional time for you. But if you can go really, really deep, the 8th house also is very psychological, just to let you know. And there is, let's just say, like, remember the 8th house is when you're just going to go really deep to find your truth. Okay. That's that digging with that 8th house. But this is, for instance, you looking in the mirror and just not looking away until you are confident that any insecurities, anything that you are telling yourself that is holding you back, anything that is in your subconscious that's telling you that you're not good enough, all of that is gone. And I know it's not like you can do it in one day like that, but this is when you begin. All right. And with Aries here, Mars's sister, who is the disruptor, she's going to help you rip off the Band-Aid. And you're going to be more than happy because there is no crying with a triple conjunction with Venus, Chiron, and Eris. Unless they're tears of joy, of course. But remember, you have to put in the work. And so this will be the emphasis on relationships. Relationships, the biggest theme for you. It can be romantic. It can be a personal relationship, friendship, but more in a romantic way. Or if you are single, this is anything that you're telling yourself that I'm not good enough. Like everything that I said earlier, like really working on that, unrooting those thoughts and knowing that you are, knowing that you can have it all. Okay. Now, and also relationship with, money as well for a lot of y'all too. Okay. Cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn will feel this the most if you have any planets 23 to 27 degrees in any of those signs in your chart. Yes, you will feel this. Also, I just think that maybe you will have some really good feel-good moments too. All right, because the moon will conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, and that is your 11th house, which rules your future hopes and long-term goals and dreams, but also friendships. And then again, a lot of home and family energy, and it does feel like there is just partnerships, relationships. Now, the biggest thing of all on this day, it is my cue the trumpets for your anniversary of launching this channel. So I just want to thank you. I have immense gratitude for all of you who have kept me going, who have supported this channel. You have no idea how meaningful it is, especially the past year. I think a lot of y'all know that I went through a lot of health issues. I can't even say the word health issues. And I just hope you do see how much passion I have doing your forecasts every week. And I am very well aware that I would not be here without you. So once again, thank you for all your kindness, your support, all your love. You are truly amazing. And I have something for you, but Friday, March 27th, Saturn, in Aries is going to sextile Pluto in Aquarius now. So this is at 5 degrees. You see, Saturn is moving a little fast for Saturn. This is a big deal. There's such a big deal that it gets its own pink square. This is part of the Prism portal. So that's really locking in. Remember from last summer, right? And so next month, when Uranus leaves Taurus for good and moves into Gemini, that's going to be the last of the outer planets in this compressed period of time that's going to form that, the once a lifetime rare grand trine where they're all aspecting. You want to throw in Jupiter? Sure. That's 5 planets, 5 of the outer planets. It's a big deal. This year is a big deal. All right. Jupiter, as you know, is moving into Leo in the summer. So you actually didn't get a sneak peek of this of Saturn sextile Pluto last summer, like some of the other alignments. The last time we did have this was 2013, but Pluto was in Capricorn. So this is going to be a whole new feel for you. All right. A lot of emphasis on your daily routines, on work and the work environment, as well as, like I said, health matters, like self-improvement, service to others. It's your home, right? The 6th house. And clearly this is a generational aspect. This is who you become. Okay. And Saturn and Pluto, they're no nonsense. They're heavyweights. And they do work behind the scenes in this capacity for the majority of the time. Like, you really, really, it just, you're just going to feel them working behind the scenes, like vitamins. Sextiles being windows of opportunity for you to have these profound changes. And this does involve a level of achievement and success as well, especially again with building these foundations for your, legacy, building your wealth, deepening your relationships, as well as your work environment, assignments, even pets. If a lot of y'all may be getting pets, but also the way that you communicate could change as well. And it could be maybe because you are changing things up in the way that you do your work. There's just a lot of change here. Again, especially for you with Saturn in your 8th house of change, of transformation. This is when you just become the authority, not the listener. This is endurance and discipline to build or rebuild your identity with conviction. Okay. Tapping into your inner Nikola Tesla, who, yes, had Saturn sextile Pluto in his chart. So this is your once every 15-ish year wake-up call to build these new powerful structures, okay? Or ascend on your current ones, to break records or glass ceilings, even radically. Remember, Pluto in Aquarius is revolution and evolution. So build away. You've got all this stabilization, all this powerful energy right here for the long haul and for the collective, because it's Aquarius, with Pluto in Aquarius. Remember, power to the people. So the fact that Pluto Aquarius is in your 6th house, which again is like hospitality, service to others. Yeah, it's just, you're going to be contributing, right? And also, at the end of the day, don't you want to make the world a better place? This is going to be very powerful for you, and you are going to start seeing big changes. Now, cross watchers, it will be the fire and the air signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that feel this aspect the most. If you have any planets 2 to 7 degrees in any of those signs, fire and air, there you go. You're really going to feel this. All right. But everyone is going to feel this aspect. The other thing that's going to happen is, the moon will be in Leo all weekend. This is super romantic. This is really fun. It's joyful. It's you being creative, expressing yourself. Have fun this weekend. It is the moon in Leo, tapping into your inner child. All right. Saturday, though, we will have Ceres in Taurus square Pluto in Aquarius. So this has some teeth. All right. We talked about Ceres moving into Taurus in your monthly forecast. Ceres, or I don't think that, did we? Well, it's Ceres is Demeter in Greek. Ceres is your planetoid, your dwarf planet. So Ceres is like Pluto being a dwarf planet. And Ceres is yours, Virgo. Has all the qualities of you. And so, but the mythology, you would know it, right? So Ceres lost her daughter, Persephone, who was abducted by Hades, Pluto, ruler of the underworld. So when Ceres squares Pluto, this isn't a game of hopscotch. This is a battle. And here's the thing, with the collective involved, again, Pluto and Aquarius, the collective, there is a bigger picture that you're already seeing play out or will around this time with Ceres and Taurus. I told you Ceres and Taurus is a very different field than Ceres and Aries, who she just left, right? And when I say you're already seeing this play out, I mean, who controls the, resources in this new era, this new world? when will there be certainty around, finances, the economy? This is like land grabs. Anyway, we talk more about this in Great Awakener. And we'll talk more about in the second spread what sign will be most impacted. But yeah, there might be something here testing your belief system. Now, Sunday, March 29th, Juno will move into Aquarius. Big deal. Because already you have Pluto very active, okay? And now in Aquarius, now you have Juno moving into Aquarius. Your commitments are going to shift a little bit. And Juno is Libra's asteroid, right? Jupiter's wife, Hera in Greek, the goddess of, love, marriage, all things like soul contracts, sacred contracts, paper contracts, agreements, deep commitments and bonds. Yeah, that's Juno, right? And so she was a little bit more strict and serious in Capricorn. Now that she's moving into Aquarius, a little bit more free, but the energy, the focus, again, brings a lot of energy to your daily activities and health matters as well as work. Remember, Uranus will move into Gemini that rules your 10th house of career next month and will trine Pluto in Aquarius. And so you're about to have a lot of energy in career, work, fame, your public. Yeah, it's 10th house is it's very public facing. It's your reputation. If you're not here for a career, it's just what you want to be known for. And then Monday the 30th, Venus moves into Taurus. This is her home. Venus is, in her domicile. So she has officially taken off her high heels and she's put on her Crocs, the good ones, Venus's luxury. But Venus rules Taurus. This is all about comfort, aesthetics, abundance, good meals, treating yourself, wanting to be held. It's romantic. It's Venus and Taurus. So Taurus ruling your 9th house. There is something here, again, that could be just very eye-opening for you. There's something here where you could just feel really good about imparting wisdom. I would not be surprised if there's some big shift that you have with relationships, with finances, but we'll talk more about this with your April forecast because this is going to have more impact in April. All right. So, and thank you everyone who have joined greatawakener.com in the spirit of renewal and rebirth that we're all experiencing, that we're all going through. Great Awakener also is going through its own rebirth. Great Awakener 2.0, this radical new design that I'm really excited about. New instructors, new experts. Of course, all the live streams are archived. There's astrology courses. There's free hypnotherapy, all of that. My course on intuition, which I'm going to do another one. Developing your intuition. But in celebration of it being March 26th as my 4-year anniversary, doing 26% off. That's less than $1 a day. So come join. And the links, I'll leave them in the description box. They're already discounted. But I'm just so excited about this turn of events. And thank you everyone who has joined and support. I literally quit my job for it. So, and then I got really sick for about 9 months. So I'm really, really excited about where I'm at now. And again, I really, really am very grateful for all of y'all. Thank you so much for all your support and all your support for Ruby too. She's a Virgo just like you. Let's get started, Virgo. Let's see what we can expect for you March 23rd to the 31st for Virgo. Sun, moon, and rising. Yeah. Virgo. Wow. You are, Yeah, I'm excited. I really am. I'm excited to your spread. Um, you have some fun stuff. Okay, let's. Well, I do. Yeah, I do a traditional cult to craft spread. Offers the best overview. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know we will. You know we will. And Virgo, y'all are amazing. I your next eclipse, by the way, isn't until 2027. So and they are moving into the Aquarius Leo axis. Just to remind you. Um. Anyway, let's get started. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, yeah. You you're good. You're good. Um. Yeah, I'll give you a little. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Virgo, come on, come on. Look at this. You figured everything out. You figured everything out. You solved. You solved the puzzle. You solved the puzzle. Um, yeah, you've got that Two of Pentacles. That's fine. That's fine. Listen, you had decisions. You probably felt like you were a little bit wishy-washy. What's going on here? With maybe career, jobs, money, finances. It is Pentacles. And it could also, remember, Pentacles are your physical realm, right? Material, possessions, etc. So there is a little bit of imbalance in this card. You're still holding it together, which is great. He's a really good juggler, but how long can you do this for, right? So it's a matter of really like prioritizing moving forward. Do you drop a pentacle? Do you become a little bit more balanced? Like it's all up to you, but there is a bit of a decision that you're going to have to make. And also, it does feel like there's something really new about this, like something that you've never been in this situation before, or it could feel really new to you. Okay, but you've got that King of Cups and the heart of your spread. So I love this because look, when you get past that Two of Pentacles, you just have all the courts. I mean, that's a lot of power. I mean, King of Cups is someone who is emotionally stable. This is someone who, like, after you spend that time figuring it out, you get back to this balance, right? So you have the card, the Two of Pentacles, a little bit of imbalance. And then you also see the waves continuing here in the King of Cups, a little turbulent, but he's a King of Cups. His throne is literally on top of the tower or the water here. And nothing's going to throw him off his throne. He's a King of Cups. He's got this. This is emotional stability, a lot of intuitive energy, a lot of, really having this really strong sense of not only intuition, but emotional intelligence. This is you like passing a test. So this is really great. It brought you to this point where, I mean, he is a leader. So you do have that power. And it seems like you put yourself in a position where you're comfortable, where you are full of compassion and that self-love, okay? Which is really great. He leads with his heart, but also there's so much creative energy with the, King of Cups, and a lot of healing, yeah? And it feels like, healing powers as well is what I would say. As in, you do have the power to heal other people. That's something that's such a Virgo trait. Remember, sixth house is what you rule, that sense of service to others. And so, even like purification. So I love all that. This is really amazing. This is really amazing. It also feels like you found your groove in something. And now you're like, okay, I'm content. I like this. But it's also like the next 2 weeks, you could feel that difference of people looking at you like you are the leader you are. Role model, someone that just stands out, someone who has emotional confidence. And then you also have that Page of Pentacles. Okay. And your challenge area. And so, two things here. One, it does feel like there is this something new, right? It's a page. Pages bring that fresh new energy into, your spread. But he is in your challenge area. It's a Page of Pentacles right there, right? Pentacles, money. And remember, I said there is a lot of money matters that are, likely going to be on your mind. Emphasis for the next 2 weeks. Page of Pentacles in your challenge area. Two things here. One, be very mindful of any new projects that you're going to be working with or investing your time in, or maybe there is something that requires money, like, I don't know, taking a class or whatever it is. Just be very mindful because, sure, Mercury's direct. Mercury's still in shadow for the rest of the month. And it's really more you and Gemini the Mercury's your rulers. And I would also say Pisces. All the mutable signs, okay? Because Mercury's, in Pisces still. Just be mindful of that, okay? The other thing is there is that sense of patience that I talked about earlier. There could have been something that from this point forward, that Two of Pentacles, there could be something that has to do with something that you were moving forward with a decision that you made or whatever you prioritize, but it feels like it's still not moving as fast as you want it to. Remember, Saturn and Aries, wax on, wax off. Practicing that patience. It's all about that patience. And so having that patience, something could take a little bit longer, but it really is just keeping an eye on it. Okay. The other thing is, it does look like there might be someone that is not going to join you on your journey moving forward. And remember, it could be someone in work, career, relationship, but also someone that works in finance. They just might be a little bit green. If maybe it's someone doing your taxes, right? It is tax season. It just feels like there's someone here that I would just keep an eye on. And there just may not be the best fit for what you're seeking. And it could even be something that you're trying to launch, you're collaborating. Remember, you have a lot of that energy. We still have Mercury in Pisces. We still have Mars in Pisces. And that is your seventh house of partnerships and relationships. Okay? Now, Ace of Wands in your crown. Amazing. There you go. You're ready. You're ready for this new. You're ready for, this transformation coming out on top. This is a lot of, what's coming through is mind over matter. And so that would be high frequency. That would be, raising your frequency at that level of self-love, gratitude, compassion, right? Ace of Wands, this is the hand of spirit offering you this opportunity, the biggest wand in the deck. And you do see the leaves sprouting from that wand. And so this is really great. This would be your passions, a new beginning, new opportunity. This would also be, or even new path. This is highly associated with work, career, profession, but just think your passions. Wands are so invigorating. They have the spirit of fire. And so think like fire in your belly, right? It is in your crown, and you also have that Queen of Wands in the root of your spread. So it does feel like there's something that you're just coming out of that's making you feel really good, that again, feeling very inspired. The Queen of Wands is very inspired, but she's also the Queen of Wands. She's the entrepreneur. She is the businesswoman. She's someone who has so much charm. She radiates. In fact, she's got the sunflower in her hand, right? You see the sunflowers in her throne as well. Those sunflowers actually exist in the sun card. Therefore, she has the powers of the sun. She radiates. She's full of optimism. This is good health. This is wealth, vitality. Again, this is commanding a room. So I love what's happening here because you are going to feel inspired. And there's so much, again, work, career, but even, again, if you're not here for that, just your passions, yeah, feels like there's something here that's really inspiring you and you're ready to manifest it. Yeah. Yeah, that Knight of Swords. And so there is a sense of restlessness that is happening here as soon as everything clicks. When you look down your cross, everything aligns. And when I say that, also mind, body, spirit, having that balance within you as well. But when you have that Knight of Swords in your future, that's why I'm saying have that patience. Like things are going to happen. But also, swords are the mental suit, right? So up here, your mind, things that you're processing, thinking about. This is also having important conversations. This is pursuing, the ideas that you have, and no going back. Look, he's going into the storm. I talk about fire in your belly. You got fire under your feet. So there's something here. When I say something really inspiring you, something where you're feeling that determination, that drive, that ambition, feeling courageous and bold, especially in the way that you are going to command a room, the way that you speak, the conversations that you're going to have, even the thoughts that you have through your, racing through your mind. It feels like you're going to make things happen. And that's really great. Just be very mindful because he is a little too, what did I say about, Pluto can be extreme. So you just want to be mindful of that. Otherwise, you're really good. Let's get to your stuff. And it just seems like you're moving into this, stronger position of power. And with a Knight of Swords in your future, I mean, that is also, having the upper hand in negotiations, conversations, like I said, but really taking those ideas, brainstorming. It's all of this. Like remember, I said your third house will be active with Pluto, who natively rules your third house, which is the mind and communication. Anyway, if you like this reading, it'd be great if you subscribe, leave comments. Virgo, tell me what's going on. And y'all are amazing. I love y'all. I'm just looking at I feel like I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised if you've moved in, if you've already had offers come through. I would, if not, they're going to present themselves now. But a lot of this is you putting yourself out there. Anyway, all right, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Okay, you're really good. You got the Three of Swords. All right. So, the Three of Swords, where it falls in your stuff, it feels like there's still. I would really pay attention to Venus conjunct Chiron. All right, that's healing. It is healing. It's self-healing, and it does feel like even though all of this is happening, there's still a little bit of a sting from something, okay, that may have happened in the past, the recent past. So do that self-healing. All right, you can overcome anything, right? Remember what I said with mind over matter. Yes, this is the heartbreak card, the heartache card, but it's still a sword suit. And with the fact your 8th house, your 7th house, so active, even your 5th, there could have been something with relationships. There could have been an ending. There could have been a fight, an argument, whatever it is. Remember this, okay? All about the heart. Now, and by the way, this is a Libra card. All right, so relationships, partnerships. Now, you have judgment in your external factors area. You're on your way to have this huge change in your life. I think that you know it. I think that you understand that if you're not seeking it, like having this huge moment of clarity, spiritual awakening, it's going to find you. Okay? And that's really great. That's really amazing. And for a lot of y'all, it is going to be having this awareness of this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm meant to be. And I love that. And by the way, judgment is attributed to the planet Pluto. Transformation, etc., etc. You know all about it, but this is really great. You have an archangel in your external factors area. That's a lot of protection. You have the 9 of Swords as well. Where it sits in your staff, it does show that you do want to, whatever that sting that I was talking about, it still could have a little bit of power over you, okay? But this is showing that I don't want that anymore. I want to move toward, resolution, resolve, empowerment. I want to be in a situation where I'm okay with what's happened. I've moved forward. I'm not going to let this energy hold on to me anymore. It's going to be part of the old world. So good for you. That's really great. Because you also got the world. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. Literally, like when I say your life is changing, your life is changing. Like your life is changing. You're going to be really great. You have the world. Welcome to the end of the major arcana, the Fool's Journey. There were highs, there were lows, there were, polarities. There was everything. It was everything. And you made it. Okay? You made it. So I think it requires this moment of clarity, right? This spiritual awakening, this aha moment, this, like I said, from the very beginning, it feels like that you're going to feel like your life is just getting started, right? And that's because, judgment comes right before the world. You have to have that moment of reckoning. And you get to the world, and then you get to feel proud of yourself. Remember, the next 2 weeks, it's all about your achievements, personal goals, success, all of that. You're going to be very proud of yourself. This is what's happening. You've come to the end of a really long road, and you're just excited for this new beginning. You're really good here. You're actually really good. Virgo, thanks so much. Next week, we do April. Speaking of which, by the way, okay, yeah. We, on April 1st, by the way, just so you know, we do have a full moon in Libra. And so Libra does rule partnerships, relationships, contracts, agreements. But Libra also, for you, rules your, second house, which would be, relationships and money and finances. And remember, Venus will be in Taurus. Okay? That's Venus's home. It's Taurus's second house. So you have a little bit of overlap there. So again, it just feels like there's some just great big change that's happening for you. Virgo, thanks so much. Oh, and the bonus spread, the second spread, there's about like 10 aspects, and we'll go through them. All right. With the planetoids, asteroids, lunations. And there is a day, just don't sign anything. Don't have an interview. But tier 3 members, really good and legendary members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. These are, and it's like each sign is like 15, 20 minutes. And If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. I love what's happening for you, and just the fact that Pluto is going to be really active. I honestly, Pluto in Aquarius, that's your sixth house. That's your home. Remember, you're all about service to others, and you have to remember that. Aquarius is glyph is Ganymede, the water bearer, sharing the wealth of wisdom, knowledge for the greater good, all of that. So I really love what's happening. I think you will too, Virgo. Anyway, thanks so much. I will see you next week. Bye bye.